As we have voter registration going on in our office here at Lotus Insurance Group, today, as we have 100 volunteers volunteering, today we are actually blessed to have a representative from the Obama administration who plays a big role in reaching out to the community at large. Most of all, as I'm from the Caribbean, I'm from Guyana, he's from Jamaica, a Caribbean, so the blood is strong, the atmosphere is strong, so we want to hear a little bit from Michael Blake. What are we all about for this election? First of all, welcome to our show today.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit what about your role in the Obama administration.
So I'm the National Deputy Director of Operation Vote. Our job is to make sure that all communities go out and vote, and we want to make sure that, you know, whether it be the Caribbean community, the API community, no matter what community it may be, that they vote for the president. You know, too much is at stake right now to not vote for Barack Obama, and that's why we want to encourage everyone to get out there and vote early here in Florida by November 3rd, and if not, by November 6th.
Okay. As the early voting starts, what do you tell the undecided voters? At this point, we are what we may call it as a ticking bomb, that they still undecided. We have been on radio yesterday, some people calling in today, some people are coming in here, the volunteers here will help them do what they need to do. But this election is so important than many previous elections. Why is this so important for the undecided?
Well, let's start with 537. 537 was the number of votes, the difference between Al Gore and George Bush in 2000. So when we realize when people didn't go and vote, what happened and what happened to the country, let's start there. So what's at stake in this election? It's a very clear question. Do we go forward with the policies of President Barack Obama to continue to move us forward, continue the progress that we're making, or do we go backward with the policies of Mitt Romney that are following policies that got us into this mess in the first place? Look, we've had 31 straight months of job growth, 5.2 million jobs made in the private sector, 32 million Americans have access to health care, ended the Iraq War, Little Led Better Act saying equal work for equal pay, Dream Act so that, you know, Caribbean community, Latino community be able to stay here and continue their dreams here. That's what's at stake. We lose all of that if Barack Obama's not reelected, and that's why we need to be very clear. For anyone that's still deciding, here's what's at stake for you. The very clear choice, the very clear question. Who do you trust? Do you trust Barack Obama or Mitt Romney with your future? Do you trust Barack Obama or Mitt Romney with your children's future? Who do you trust will fight for you? And the answer very clearly is Barack Obama.
As the war has come to a stop, Barack Obama have made his choice. Before he became the president, he will close the war in Mideast. We've seen where Iraq war starts and Afghanistan is counting down. How much money does that war save us from going and spend out and coming back home?
Oh, well, look, it's billions of dollars that are saved by the ending of the Iraq War, and then there'll be even more through the ending of the war in Afghanistan. We think about, what does that mean? That means we can do nation building here. That means we can continue to invest in our roads and bridges. It means we can continue to invest in education. It's the same philosophy the president has relates to, you know, student loan reform, you know, taking money from the big banks so that money can get more directly to the students. It's just a clear approach. Let's use the money and invest in the things that we need to. Let's invest in our children's future. Let's invest in our infrastructure, because that's going to allow us to continue to grow. The president is committed to creating an economy built to last, where everyone has a fair shot, where responsibility is rewarded, and everyone gets a fair chance at success. So here's the reality right now. Mitt Romney said he has no plan on ending the war in Afghanistan. As it relates to the Iraq War, he said it was a mistake in terms of what we're doing. You know, he said he would cut Pell Grants. He has not been supportive of Wall Street reform. We cannot allow those policies to take place because they impact our communities. We have to fight for this right now. Too much is at stake. Too much is at stake to go backwards. And that's why we continue to say to everyone, between now and Election Day, when you are trying to decide who will fight for you, who do you trust, the answer is President Barack Obama.
We may have so much distorted advertisement on television, which people sit and listen to television. There are some of the things that I see that Mitt Romney have been doing is throw the words to suit the crowd, but he cannot stick to the same message to everywhere else. What the difference did you see that Obama hold on to versus Mitt Romney?
Well, look, President Obama, you know, whatever he says, you know is true, and you know when he's fighting for you, he's fighting for you. You know, well, you can test someone's character by what they say when they don't know the cameras are on. And the reality is, when Mitt Romney didn't realize cameras were on, he said that 47% of the country he won't worry about. He said you consider yourself victims. You don't have responsibility. You think you're entitled to food and entitled to housing. You know, as communities of color, when someone says, you know, I would have a better chance if I were Latino, you know, we should recognize those are very powerful and inappropriate things to be saying. You know, just last week when Mitt Romney was in Ohio and said that jobs were going to be shipped off to China, in which Chrysler and Jeep said, no, that's not true. It is just fundamentally not true. The reality is, on the question of trust, you don't know what issues the president's going to have, but you can take them at their word, and you can make a decision, do I believe what this person is saying? And the reality is, when Barack Obama said, I'm going to end the Iraq War, he did. When Barack Obama said, I'm going to get health care done, he did. When Barack Obama said, I'm going to fight for women, he did. When Barack Obama said, I'm going to double Pell Grants so that kids can go to school, he did. The things he said he was going to do, he did. Mitt Romney's words can't be trusted. We don't know what policies Mitt Romney stands for because he changes his policies all the time. And that's what's at stake right now. If you're trying to decide who to support in this election, you're trying to realize, why should I be passionate about this election? You have someone, Barack Obama, his words are truthful and he will fight for you. You do not know where Mitt Romney stands. And the things that we think we know about Mitt Romney are extreme. Mitt Romney said he's severely conservative. Mitt Romney has said that he's committed to overturn Roe v. Wade. Mitt Romney said he wants to cut Pell Grants. When we think about what's at stake, that's not a candidate, not a person you want to have your president. That's why Barack Obama deserves 4 more years.
My dear friends, the things that you are hearing here, it's nothing new. Romney says he'll create jobs, yes. But would he create in your neighborhood? Would he create in your state? No, he's creating in China. It clearly shows how many jobs that he has taken to China. And that's your money, that's your mortgage money, that's your house, that's your income that he has taken out there. So I think if he creates more jobs, he's not creating it for America, he's creating in China. Does China help America? No, they laugh at us. America used to be the strongest nation in this world, in so many trades, so many jobs, so many industries here. They all went to China for what? You, the people of America, need to decide. And if you don't decide this election, you will never be able to decide. Now, Blake, tell us a little bit, as a Caribbean heritage, blood of the Caribbean, we may have a little Caribbean community here that's growing very strong. Every week, every month, there is a new Caribbean business opening in Central Florida, Florida the whole, not counting the big states like New York and whatnot. What message you bring to these people so their rights can be protected for tomorrow, as they are new business owners, and some who are older, they're facing a lot more of these fees and all these things that's coming in. But what do we bring to these new business owners, and how to look at the positive side to open more business?
You know, as a Caribbean American, I can speak personally to you about what's at stake in this election. You know, my family's from Jamaica. My mom is from Alexandria in Jamaica. My father's from Papine outside of Kingston. My godparents are from Guyana. I understand very clearly the community, the heritage, what we fight for, and how our hard work and our responsibility pays off. And when we think about what's at stake in this election, for our communities, you have someone in President Obama that is fighting for you, that understands your story. You know, many of us understand what it's like to come from a single-parent household. He understands that. Many of us understand what it means to go through health challenges through his mom who went through cancer. He understands that. He understands what it means to pay for student loans. He understands these things that you understand what we fight for every single day. Mitt Romney has not shown that he understands that. Mitt Romney has not shown that he was going to fight for us. When we think about the economy, let's be very clear. Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts. When he came in, he was 35th in the country in job creation. He left 47th in country in job creation. The fundamental reason Mitt Romney says he should be president in being able to turn around the economy and create jobs in the public sector, he failed. As governor of Massachusetts, he left because he doesn't have a record to stand on. And think about this, on election day next week, the state that he was governor in, he's going to lose by at least 20 points. The people who know him best do not trust him. In Massachusetts, where clearly you think about the Boston Globe, biggest newspaper in that area, just endorsed Barack Obama. In Michigan, the Detroit Free Press endorsed Barack Obama. Even the Salt Lake Tribune in Utah endorsed Barack Obama. The people who know Mitt Romney best know he will not fight for you the way Barack Obama will. On the other side, President Obama, $3.4 billion out to minority businesses through the work to the Minority Business Development Agency. The work that he's done to cut taxes 19 times for small businesses. That's what's at stake right now for the Caribbean community. You have to ask yourself this: Who understands my walk of life? Who understands my values? Who understands what my story is? Who's going to fight for me? You don't know what challenges a president's going to have when they become president, but you can decide who's going to fight for you. And the best way to think about it is this. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney both went to Ivy League institutions. President Obama left an Ivy League institution and in the shadow of closed steel mills helped people get their jobs. Mitt Romney left an Ivy League institution to shut down steel mills so people lost their jobs. Who's going to have your back? And in the Caribbean community, we understand what it means to have each other's back. We fight for each other. We stand up for each other. We celebrate with each other. Since I've been here in Florida, I've been engaged with the Jamaican community, the Guyanese community. Spent time at Diwali on Saturday. We understand what it is to support one another. Barack Obama has been supporting you, and he deserves your support. He deserves 4 more years. He deserves your vote. He deserves for you to fight for him one more time.
What message can you bring to the Caribbean women today that we want to see that one day a Caribbean person be a president of this country?
Look, to women that are watching, let's be clear about what's at stake. You have President Obama. First act he signed, Little Live Better Act, saying that your equal work deserves equal pay. Not 1, but 2 phenomenal women to the Supreme Court. Not 1, but 2 women became the directors of the Domestic Policy Council. He created the Council of Women and Girls. What he's been able to do through cabinet officials. This is a man who understands and fights for women. When we think about what's at stake for the Caribbean community and can look up and see what's at stake, you have a phenomenal First Lady. You have 2 little girls. How can we think someone that has that kind of background won't fight for you? You know, someone who understands what's at stake in our community. Someone that will celebrate with us. Someone who had Diwali at the White House. First time a president's ever done it. This is what's at stake right now. And when you think about someone in Mitt Romney, you don't know where he stands on many issues. And on the issues as it relates to women, he says he's committed to overturning Roe v. Wade. He is not supported as it relates to the Live Better Act. You know, just last week with Richard Murdoch in Indiana, they had the absolutely egregious and inappropriate statement that if a woman were raped, then God would deem it still appropriate for something like that to happen, in which Mitt Romney still has not said that was wrong and still has not taken his out off the air. For women, whether it be the economy, for what we've done for the Women-Owned Small Business Program, whether it be on reproductive rights and standing up so that you can have your choice, whether it be for justice and Supreme Court nominations, whether it be for education and making sure we're giving more people a chance to go to school and graduate from school, President Obama is your candidate. And when we think about what this means for us as a community, what will it mean that we had a president in Barack Obama who looked like us, who shared our experiences, who's gone through our walk of life, and we don't re-elect him? What will that mean for the kids who look up to him, who think that they might have a shot, who may not think they have a shot anymore because he did the things that were the right things to do and we don't fight for him? That's what's at stake right now. That's what your communities need right now. Ask yourself, who's going to invest in your community? Who's going to fight for your community? Who's going to stand up for your community? And you all know the answer is Barack Obama. Who do you trust will fight for you? Barack Obama clearly is the answer. And that's why we need everyone in Florida to go and early vote from today through Saturday, November 3rd. Early voting is happening. There is no excuse. Bring your ID. There is no excuse at all. You don't know what may happen on election day. We need for you to get out to vote. If you don't vote by November 3rd, November 6th is election day. Vote for the person that's had your back and have his.
Why is Florida so important to election 2012 or vote to 2012?
Look, Florida. Let's be clear. You know, you understand the importance of this race. You know, this is a tight election. It was going to be tight. Everyone knew it was going to be tight. You know, the president won here before by just about 2 points. You know, this is going to be a close election. But here's where it's at stake: 29 electoral votes. President Obama. You know, all expectation is that he has at least 237 electoral votes. That would be for him. You know, you win another state, say Wisconsin, which we're heading, or Ohio, which we're heading. Then you're looking at 247 electoral votes, maybe 255. President Obama wins Florida, he just became reelected. I mean, that's the power that you have. You go out and vote for Barack Obama and he will be the president, period. And so when we're thinking about if we need to go vote, again, just remember, 537 votes was the difference in 2000. Not just for one state, but for our country and for a world. It's the difference between a war, between jobs, our communities. Florida, get out and vote for Barack Obama. He needs you one more time, and he will win again with you.
We have in this office here in excess of 100 volunteers volunteering for Obama to be the next president of this community. I hope and pray that this happens, and we see what's happening tomorrow as the day after for election. My friends, if you looking at this, whether in Facebook, YouTube, or whatever media you're looking at this, if we have people in here will go throughout Central Florida from this office. All you have to do is give me a call at 407-889-8872. They will come to your home, or whether you can come to our office. You can listen on 1600 AM every Sunday from 7 AM to 8 PM, one person to another. I will personally be from 5 to 7 PM every Sunday evening. Phone number is 407-290-1600. Or you can tune in to www.wlaaradio1600.com. You can call in anytime, or you can be anywhere in this country, anywhere in the world listening to this program. Any question you have about voter registration, voter education 2012, you can reach us on there. We have knowledgeable volunteers are here in this office, ready to help you in every which way. If you can't get out of the house before to vote, we can help. Get somebody to your home, take you to the place of voting, and make that happen. Should you need form and filling out the forms that need to be filled out before election, time is limited. Time is a time bomb right now. Our volunteers are so hungry and thirsty to help you to make a decision in voting 2012. Let's say a closing statement. What do you have for on this part of what's going on?
For the people of Florida, for the people of this country, you have a very clear choice in this election. Who do you trust? Who do you trust is going to fight for you? Who do you trust is going to fight for you to keep your job? Who do you trust is going to fight for your schools? Who do you trust is going to fight for health care? Who do you trust is going to stand up to all the external noise that's out there? Who do you trust is going to be honest with you? It's Barack Obama, not Mitt Romney. Let's be clear right now. 31 straight months of job growth, 5.2 million jobs made in the private sector. 32 million Americans have health care right now. Double the Pell Grant so that more kids can go to school and graduate from school. Ended the Iraq War like he said that he would. Bringing our troops home from Afghanistan like he said that he would. First act that he signed, Little Led Better Act, saying to women your equal work deserves equal pay. Dream Act, so Latino kids and Caribbean kids can stay here and continue to press on. That's what's at stake in this election right now. And when you have a president that will fight for the 100%, not someone in Mitt Romney who said that 47% of the country he won't worry about. You have to ask yourself, what do I want? What is my choice? Do I go forward and continue to move forward? Nobody is saying that everything is perfect. Yes, there's more work that needs to be done, but the reality is this: we are making progress, and we cannot go backwards right now. And Mitt Romney's policies will take us backwards into a mess that got us here in the first place. We cannot risk that. And as a Caribbean American myself, I speak to you personally and understand our story and understand your story and understand what we're going through. It is too important for our community not to go vote. So for the people of Florida, 537 votes were the difference in 2000. 537 were the difference between a war, between healthcare, between jobs, between education. Every person needs to go vote. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring them out. And after you go vote, we need volunteers. We need people to knock on doors with us. We need you to make phone calls with us. We need you to come into our offices and join this movement with us. We need attorneys who will be out there to make sure your votes are protected. We need individuals that can speak in Creole to get out there as well and make sure everyone has a chance to be a part of this process. If you want to join us, fl.barackobama.com. fl.barackobama.com is the website to be a part of this in Florida, to be a part of this movement here in Florida. You want to join us and know how to vote all around the country? Vote.barackobama.com. Vote.barackobama.com to find out your early voting information, find out what you need to bring to the polls, find out how you can be part of this process. You want to follow us on Twitter at OFA_FL for Florida, at OFA_CO for Colorado, at OFA_NV for Nevada. So no matter the two letters for your state, again, at OFA_FL to join us on Twitter for Florida, or last but not least, text FL to 62262. Text FL to 62262 on your phones so you can join us in this movement. In 2008, we changed the guard. In 2012, we guard the change. If you're willing to stand in line for sneakers, you can stand in line to go vote. If you're willing to stand in line to get the iPhone, you can stand in line to go vote. If you're willing to stand in line to go to the show, you can stand in line to go vote. This election is not just about 4 years. This election is about the next generation. Stand in line, fight for us, fight for Barack Obama, have his back, because for the last 4 years and for the next 4 years, Barack Obama will have your back as well.
Be counted. Get out and vote. Make your voice to be heard. If you don't, then you have no voice. You have any problem, any issues, there's no one who will listen to you, as you are not counted if you don't vote. 2012 is one of the most important elections that you can vote for. When you vote, your school district get the money they need to carry on the education you need for your children, your grandchildren, and so forth. The hospitals, they get the funding from the federal government for the benefits that you need for your health. The county have the federal grants and money for whatever it is to give you the quality of life that you deserve in this county. My dear friends, doesn't matter where you're at in this country, make sure you vote. If your parents cannot get to the poll booth, do one good thing. Take them to get to vote. If they don't vote, then you don't get nowhere. And remember one thing, everybody in your community and your friends and family, they all depend on you and your vote to strengthen this election. Thank you very much, and hope you can send this email out to this video to whoever can learn, whoever needs help in getting to that polling station. Any advice you need, call me at 407-889-8872, and we have volunteers who can answer your question on the phone, or they can even come to your home and help you fill that form or whatever it is that needs to be done. Thank you very much for listening.